Welcome back to another earth-shattering episode of Unscripted from the good people at the Adventist Review. Yeah, and today we've got quite a lineup for you. You're going to want to watch this.
Hey guys, we are here with Shawn Boonstra, one of our associate editors, and I think it was a couple episodes ago where you interviewed me and kind of gave my background, but we want to kind of go through memory lane and see what.
I'm old. This could be two shows, but
you're such a public figure. You are the speaker director for It Is Written and VOP.
Can't hold a job.
I think people know you for those big gigs. But can I ask what happened? What did you do before when you came to It Is Written?
I would say that, okay, here's what I am. I'm a recovering heathen. That's really what I am. I wasn't raised Adventist.
Okay.
I didn't grow up in the Adventist church. I did grow up in a church-going family, Dutch Calvinist family, went to church every Sunday and so on. But by the time I'm 14 or 15, there's no way to describe me other than lost. I shouldn't laugh about that, but I'm redeemed and I can laugh now. Became an Adventist in a public evangelistic meeting after coming under conviction that I was going to go into ministry, which blew my mind.
Really?
And this little voice is saying, you're going to go into the ministry. It's like, what? Oh. And you wouldn't have believed it either. As a matter of fact, when I went to evangelistic meetings, we crossed the street to the pub every night after the meeting and had a beer and discussed what we were learning.
Oh, cool.
So that's how much.
Not cool, but I mean, cool.
Yeah, no. And it was weird. Before the evangelist ever covered, alcohol and how wrong that is for a believer, I lost my appetite one night. I had a pint in front of me and I thought, I don't want this anymore.
So you felt the pull of righteousness even before the actual truth of alcohol came about.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, something like that.
Who was preaching the evangelistic series when you were?
Oh, it was an It Is Written series of meetings. And so
so It Is Written brought you into the church and you became It Is Written speaker eventually.
Oh yeah, I grew up watching It Is Written, not because I wanted to, back in George Vanneman's day, not because I wanted to, but because it came on before Disney, and we had an old black and white TV that felt like it took 3 hours to warm up. And so my brother and I would turn it on way in advance so we could see Mickey Mouse,
Wait, so we got your conversion story, evangelistic series, and then your speaker director of Israel. What kind of happened in between? You pastored?
Oh, yeah, no, I did.
You're in
pastor.
Canada?
The church that baptized me put me to work right away. I gave my first Bible study 3 weeks into my experience, first evangelistic meeting 3 months into my experience. And then it was gangbusters after that. It's like when a tiger tastes human blood, you're going to have to put the tiger down because that's all they want. Once you see somebody make a decision for Christ, that's all you want. So the church that baptized me hired me as their associate pastor.
Okay.
Bad idea, guys. I don't know what you were thinking. I wouldn't have hired me at that stage. But the pastor noticed, like, all you do is soul winning day and night. Let's bring you on the team. And from there, It Is Written Canada hired me. Their speaker was planning to retire and heard me at a camp meeting, I guess, said, this guy likes soul winning. We need a soul winner in this job. And then I went into 28 years of media work for the church. And now I'm old. Look at this, kids. This is your future. Yeah.
What portion? So you're clearly a international speaker, director, but you're now in this gig as a writer.
Yep.
How much of that previous position kind of set you up to? Is there a lot of writing involed in the?
Oh yeah,
because you've written for the Atmosphere for a very long time.
I've been writing off and on for the Review. I enjoyed it. I would always refuse honorariums.
You've got books out and whatnot. But
I wrote a few books.
Is it were you writing and then speaking came as a natural thing, or is it because you had to speak? The writing came secondary.
Here's the truth, folks. I do not love public speaking. Spent my whole career. Oh no. Nothing makes me more sick to my. If I'm going to speak.
But your title was speaker.
I know.
Director.
I know. God has a sense of humor. In speech class in university, I couldn't go 3 minutes without turning beet red and stammering, and I would sit down. Wow. And my life's ambition was to run for office before I was a Christian. It's like, how are you going to run for office, Shawn? You
Politician.
Yeah, you can't speak.
What you call them MPs in Canada, yeah?
MLAs and the provincial level. That's what I was interested in. I did not want to go to Ottawa.
Okay.
MLA, member of the Legislative Assembly.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to be the Premier of British Columbia. God's got a sense of humor, though. I don't love public speaking. If I get up to preach for an hour, you will know that I have spent anywhere from 40 to 100 hours preparing that 1 hour. Because just sheer nerves. Wow. Every evangelistic meeting, when I preach at night, I go home and I have to change the tape in my head. Now that makes me old, tape. It's not even CD anymore. I have to change the file in my head. And I have to go over the next sermon at least twice, maybe 3 times before I have the courage to get up and deliver it.
Wow.
So it always, I don't know how many times I've thrown up in the bushes behind a hall.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Well,
So
Shawn, we're
I love
very
writing.
appreciative of your speaking skills and your administrative skills, but writing, just very appreciative that you're lending your skills to the church now. And
I wouldn't call it a skill. I do write, but there's an editor. Yeah.
Well, I mean, well, you wrote an article for us for the February issue.
Yes.
And it is February. It is the month of love with Valentine's Day, and
I like how you kind of soured at that concept.
Yeah, tell us about the article.
Yeah, and if you're watching this the day we release this, it's February 13. And if you're watching this Friday night, guess what, gentlemen? You're too late. Guess what tomorrow is for 60% of the globe? Just so you know, you messed up. We're just going to let you know. Tomorrow's Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Buy your expensive flowers.
Yeah.
They jack up the price on it.
Oh, do they? It's double. It's doubled. Kind of like a wedding. They double the cost of everything. I rented a horse and carriage to take us away from the church at our wedding because that's what every girl wants a princess wedding. And it was $75 for an hour. I'm dirt poor. I thought, okay, $75. And when I mentioned wedding, it was suddenly $300 an hour. Yeah. So, yeah, it's the month of love, and
and you wrote about love.
And I wrote about love. And the article, I think we've titled it, Does Love Make You Weak? Which, all right, let me give a little background on this one. You're going to want to read this piece. I am from a community of Dutch immigrants, and we are not the most expressive people on earth. You do not get PDAs. If you're not familiar with that term, public displays of affection. Even in my house, I felt loved, I felt wanted, but it's very rare for a Dutch family to say, I love you.
Oh, just like the Koreans, just like Asians. Oh.
Yeah, that's why you turned up your face at the month of love.
Yeah.
So I thought, who better to write about love than the man who hates it? No, I do love love. But what prompted this is I was reading Francis Bacon one morning. I was having bacon for breakfast.
Okay.
Yeah, Francis Bacon. And I love
philosopher, for those of you who may not be familiar with Francis
English
Bacon.
Philosopher. And he says this. He's talking about love, and he's bitter. It turns out he had a horrible marriage. It didn't last, and I think he's a little bitter. They do best, he writes, who if they cannot but admit love, in other words, they can't help but fall in love, yet make it keep quarter. In other words, put it in a box. Don't let this get out of control. And sever it wholly from serious affairs and actions of life, for if it check once with your business, it troubles your fortunes and makes men that they can no way be true to their own ends. In other words, if you fall in love, it's going to mess up your life. It's going to make you irrational. You're going to do bad business deals. You're not going to grow your career.
It's not all that wrong. I mean, there's a lot of crazy people who, they do make some dumb decisions because of a guy or a girl.
Oh, yeah. As a pastor, the number of young people who have come to me saying, I'm dating this guy, and he's kind of a loser, but I know he can change. It's like, now, walk now. Walk now. It turns out philosophers have been doing this for a long time. You read Plato, which I was required to in college. Remember, ex-heathen. And he's down on love. He says, this is going to just ruin you. Irrational desire leads you towards beauty and love, but it's going to wreck your life. Nietzsche said the same thing. Schopenhauer said the same thing. They're down on love. I thought, well, let's write about this, because does it change you? Does love make you irrational? And so in the article, yeah, it kind of does in this regard. If I'm perfectly rational, is a bouquet of flowers a sound, rational financial decision? No, I'm Dutch. That bouquet's $25. It's going to be dead in a week.
Yeah.
Do you know what I could do with $25? I could buy a book. It will still be there in 20 years. Yeah. If it's Valentine's Day, it's $50 for that bouquet.
Yeah.
What am I buying? Am I buying an object, or am I investing in a relationship? And so then we turn it around a little bit and say, look, God is a God of love. God did not, I don't know if I said it this way in the article. Read the article. You'll see what we say in there. And then leave your comments below. Remember, it's Justin that turned up his face at the month of love, and so leave your anti-Valentine's Day for Justin.
Are you an angry philosopher?
Yeah.
Or are you,
write your complaint letters to
with your
Justin Kim, 12501.
Tell us about the article.
Okay.
Tell us. Don't tell us too much, but tell us.
So did God create this universe like a model train set? Oh, this is entertaining. Let the planets spin in order. And no, he created it as a setting for relationships. And so does love change your perspective? Yes, it does. And God operates from a perspective of love, and it changes your entire priority system. Love does. And love is one of those things that has left this massive vacuum in the post-Enlightenment world, right? The post-Enlightenment world, the universe is a machine and everything's mechanistic and we're here by accident. And we've got this vacuum because as valuable as science is, and I'm not anti-science, that's going to come up in a minute too, science. You can go online, AdventistReview.org, we're talking about creation and science there as well right now. He doesn't create this, it's a setting for relationships. That's what matters to him. God makes decisions based on his love for you. And in his universe, that's the most rational thing in the world. So that's really what we're exploring in the Does Love Make You Weak? No. If it's godly love, if you're subscribing to the way God describes love, we're not talking about...
You're talking about gushy emotions and all
that's
that.
part of it. But love is not just emotions, right? Love is not just emotions. Love has you... How much did Jesus love me? Enough to die for me. How squishy did he feel in Gethsemane as he's begging God, let this cup pass from me. Let this cup, he did not want to go to the cross, but his love for you makes him do it. God acts from love, principled love. And those of you who are married, you know, you don't feel awesome about each other every day. There are days where you fight, and there are days where I'm pretty sure my wife thinks, what have I done? What have I done? But love makes you take the next step forward. That's why hasty divorce is such a horrible idea. Unless there's actual abuse or affairs or something that's biblically justified, work it out. Marriage is not really about making you happy. It does make you happy. So much, I'm borrowing this from another author. It's not about making you happy so much as it is about making you holy. Holy. Love, godly love makes you holy, and it makes all the sense in the world. God's priorities make sense. That's where we're going.
These philosophers, they all talk about this pursuit for truth, and they wax eloquent about all their systems and all the ideologies, and they write really long books, and some are sort of huge and thick. But it seems that in Christianity, the core of it is not some cold idea or cold truth. It's this... I love the verse, let them make me a sanctuary that I may dwell with you. It's like God wants to hang out with humanity. It's that the relationship is the most primordial force in the universe, which you're getting to as love. Just two people to interact, two entities interacting is what makes the universe. It gives purpose and meaning, and it's just much more warmer than just reading a book and that describes how the universe goes.
I still like the philosophers, but they're just dead wrong. And one of the reasons I'm a Christian is I hit the end of these books and realized they don't know, but God does know. And I think in the article we feature this idea, God actually views the universe from the love perspective, and we know that because he's three in one. God sees everything, experiences his universe in community. In community.
Like in his nature is the relationship there. I mean, that's just a profound 3 in 1, not 2 in 1, 3 in 1. And so there's the plurality, where if it was just two, it would be a binary where the two are just revolving around each other, but there's a community there.
That's right. And
these things are profound.
And of course, marriage is meant to mirror our relationship to God, Ephesians chapter 5 and so on. So that's where we're going with that for the month of love. No, love doesn't make you weak. Love makes you more Christ-like if it's the Bible's definition of what love is. Self-sacrificing love.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day. That was a rather sterile discussion about love for Valentine's Day. That's in place of flowers this year, honey. Yeah, it's in place of flowers. All right, enough about Valentine's Day and love and all that stuff. Let's dig into some of the content that you can find at AdventistReview.org this week, right now. You could go there right now, but I'd encourage you, finish listening to this show and then go and read the content. So we actually have a couple of bits in here, one from GRI and one from BRI. Unpack that first a little bit.
So we got two legs of the GC, two institutions, I should say, and they serve the church in two different capacities. BRI stands for Biblical Research Institute, and these are, 6 to 8 top theologians who do apologetics, who do NT, OT, Old Testament, New Testament studies, and they do all this Bible stuff to buttress and support and defend the church.
Right, and they're up on the 3rd floor of the building above our heads where the air is thin and just a little closer to heaven. Just a little bit. They're 10 feet closer to the kingdom.
And then you got GRI, which is the science wing, And these are our scientists, top scientists from all around the world based in Loma Linda.
Right.
And they talk about creationism, biology, and they go into dinosaurs, fossils, DNA. And I just attended a meeting where they looked at, they were funding a project, the Adventist Church was funding a project where there's primitive DNA that can be harvested from dinosaur bones and from fossilized pine tree remnants.
Oh, come on.
And this shouldn't be, right? So if this is like millions old,
They're pulling DNA out of it? Mm-hmm. Here comes Jurassic Park, Adventist edition.
And so people are automatically going to Jurassic Park, and like, hey, we should do. We're not at that stage yet, but we're just at that infant stage. Anyway, some cool things that come out from GRI and BRI. And we've got articles that come out all month. We have our magazine.
Right.
That's the top articles that come out in print. But if you go to our website, adventistreview.org, there is a new article every day, sometimes 2 every day, and it's constantly being refreshed. We've got a lot of material there.
Sometimes a lot of current events. Something goes down that's big. Mm-hmm. Go to the Adventist Review. I mean, let the church tell you what happened. I know, again, I've mentioned this before, there's all these websites that seem to do nothing but throw stones all day long. They don't know. They're not here. Your church will tell you. Just ask, and we'll tell you what's going on. Yeah. So, Suzanne Phillips is the chair of the Department of Earth and Biological Sciences at the School of Medicine. And she writes, should creationists be afraid of science? That's an article you want to read, because there's this idea, if you have faith, you must hate reason, and vice versa.
Yeah, no, the two are juxtaposed against each other. I hate this tension where it's either your faith and your spiritual and your Bible-based, or your science and rational and your fact-based. And I think the secular world does make that, it polarizes those two. But throughout history, if you were a good Christian, you were a faith, you were a science, you were a scientist. You were a searcher for truth.
Where did the scientific method come from?
Yeah.
It comes from an underlying supposition that there is order to the universe to be discovered. And the great names in science were believers. Isaac Newton, you know him from high school as giving you the theory of gravity. Pretty good theory, right?
Yeah.
If you've ever fallen, you knew he was right. You fall off a house, I did that once. I found out the hard way Isaac Newton was right. He also wrote a commentary on Daniel.
Yeah, that's right.
He was also a theologian. And what these people were trying to do is dig through the data to learn something about the Creator.
Yeah.
And then as time goes by, the church gets cast as irrational. And I actually I won't read it to you. We could have Adventist Reading Theater. You can come online later and I'll read this whole volume to you. This is written by Andrew White. I believe he was one of the founders of Cornell. And he was a popular public speaker.
It's thick.
Yeah, isn't it thick?
Yeah.
I like thick books because I also am thick. That's how that works. That's not even going to translate into other languages. Yeah. So they get a little bit bitter, and he's a popular speaking tour, because they start this university, they say, we want it to be completely 1,000% objective, no religious content whatsoever at this university. And at the time, parents are saying, well, I don't know about that. You're just going to eliminate God altogether. And they got upset because it didn't go well in the beginning. Even though one of the founders was a Quaker. Cornell was a Quaker, I believe.
Oh, is that right?
I think so, yeah.
Oh.
I think so. Don't quote me. Write your complaint letters to Justin Kim. 12501 Old Columbia Pike, Silver Spring, Maryland.
Shawn Boonstra at tc.adventist.org.
Thanks, Justin. All right. I have a forward button. So they are popular speakers. They go on tour and say, oh, Christians, they're not reasonable. And they're one of the ones that come up with something called the conflict thesis. Conflict thesis says faith and science cannot intermingle. They don't work together.
Yeah.
And they start saying the church teaches the earth is flat. That's where this whole flat earth thing started. Let me say this. Christians have, and I know some of you are going to write letters, address them to Justin Kim. The church has never taught a flat earth. The whole idea that Columbus sailed to prove the earth was round, nonsense, absolute nonsense. The Council of Salamanca never brought up a flat earth. That wasn't their objection. They just thought it was too far to Asia going west. See, they knew the earth was round. They knew within 100 kilometers what the circumference of the earth was. We've known that since 300 years BC. Eratosthenes figured this out in Egypt with his famous shadow experiment. So we knew the earth was round. The question was, can you really sail from here to there? And what Columbus wanted to do was recruit the Khan to help him evict Muslims from Jerusalem so the second coming could take place. It's in his journals. It's in Columbus's journals. You can buy them and read them. So the idea that the earth is flat is from a Washington Irving novel from the 1800s. And he makes up this story that the church condemned Columbus by saying the earth is flat, you'll sail off the edge. It's 100% fiction. We've never believed it. However, it was the foundation for this idea. See, they're irrational. Christians are irrational. They can't accept the facts. And I really appreciate Suzanne Phillips' article. And she's open and honest. She says, yeah, there's things we don't know. And one of her recommendations is, are you willing to live with the tension when you see something you don't understand? And what I found encouraging, Justin, is she says, let the data keep coming in. The more data that comes in, the more it seems to confirm the biblical account and not the evolutionary account.
She calls for patience.
That's right.
That we know the end picture. We know that as Christians, we know that God will recreate all things. He's coming back. We know the end picture, but sometimes the data that we see around us, it's not that the data is wrong, but we've been interpreting it the wrong way. So she says we got to live within the tension. I love that. We have data, we have interpretation, we have our faith, and sometimes that aligns, sometimes it doesn't align, and she says it's okay, just wait, be patient, and as more data comes in, we'll see that, hey, one interpretation is actually incorrect, and that as time passes, we find that Scripture is just being continually supported and evidenced by the data.
Brilliant article. The title again, Should Creationists Be Afraid of Science? AdventistReview.org. Go give this one a read. I think you're going to find it useful. Yeah. It's okay to say you don't know once in a while, too.
And I appreciate it that she's a high-ranking scientist, a researcher, doctorate level, but she brings it down and she doesn't dumb it down. Nope. It's not an easy read, but it's not an academic piece either. Yeah, I love the final bit. It's called Deal Honestly with It, and I love that. If you don't know, don't make it up. This isn't in the article, but hey, don't use urban legends to confirm the Bible. Just stop doing that. Yeah. You know, NASA discovered the missing day from, no, they didn't. Yeah. Don't do it. It just makes us look like fools. It's much better to say, I don't know that yet. I have faith that there will be an answer. I don't know about you, Shawn, but I see a lot more of that. I see a lot more videos, a lot more reels. And with AI, it's creating these false references and like, hey, this is coming from different journals, different whatevers, and it's going to get more and more. Yep. Be careful. Don't grab the football and run with it until you know it's real. That's right. And deal honestly. The biblical text is sensational enough. You don't have to add flavor. Yeah. You just don't. Yeah. And adding flavor is going to make us look like fools eventually. We've embarrassed ourselves more than once. Let's pivot to BRI, Biblical Research Institute. They answer Bible questions, and this Bible question posted this week: why didn't God immediately destroy Satan when he rebelled? Wouldn't that have saved a lot of suffering? Yeah. A big question. I think top 10 questions out there, and probably in your experience as an evangelist, as a pastor for several years, you get this all the time. Why didn't God just snap his finger and end all evil right when it, nip it in the bud when it happened? Yeah. Why? I remember as a kid getting a spanking and sitting on the edge of my bed afterwards, humiliated and crying and a little hot under the collar, thinking, and I'm blaming Adam and Eve. If only they hadn't sinned, I wouldn't have gotten a spanking today. If only You're a theologian at your young age. God shut that all down. I don't know. There's a story I used to tell, and I find this is one of the major turning points. Our message, the three angels' messages, is so profound. People struggle with this. Good God, evil world, why? Why would God allow this to go? And this is one of the major turning points. I see people shedding tears when they see the bigger picture. And Clinton Wallin wrote this bit, and he gives the bigger picture. Love requires freedom. You need to read this. It's good. It's a brief read, and it'll arm you to answer that question. Short, so it's good. Yeah. One of the illustrations I've used, just with people, it's like, let's suppose my brother comes to me, we're little kids, and he says, there's something wrong with Dad. I don't know if we can trust Dad. He's not right in the head. I think, well, that's interesting. I don't really see it, but maybe something's wrong with Dad. And my dad finds out and takes my brother into the backyard, shoots him, and buries him in the garden because he's that mad about it. Wow. What do you think I'm going to think past that point? It's like, I think Kevin might have been right about Dad. Better listen to Dad. Because he's not right in the head. He just murdered Kevin. Yeah. And maybe he's afraid of something coming out. And that's not far from what appears to be the case. We aren't shown everything behind the scenes, but it appears to be the case. Like,
We know we've got a fallen angel convincing a third of heaven something's up with God. I'm not sure we can trust him to be on the throne. And if God squashes him at that moment when angels are asking questions, because they are also created with free will, they're not robots, squashes him, what's the natural reaction at that point? Well, maybe Lucifer had a point. What is God scared of? It's interesting. You know, God's a God of love, and we're supposed to be free and have moral choice. How do you allow that, not take away freedom of choice and solve the sin problem? That's what he's up against, and I'm glad it's God, not me.
Yeah, no, I through an Adventist understanding of theodicy, I come to the realization that God is not efficient in the way that humans want him to be efficient. God is not quick, but in a God sense, he is efficient that he wants to solve the problem of sin once and for all in one shot, but he does utilize time, and he needs time. I love the contribution of Adventism because we have to believe in the existence of angels, other unfallen beings.
Right.
And God is proving his character to all of them also. It's not just about us. If it was just us, he comes to earth, saves us, and we go home, game over. But there is a larger picture here.
That's it. Oh, that's
just
fantastic.
Frames everything in the right way.
Yeah, there's a lot at stake, more than us. More than us. And I'm glad I don't have to make the decisions God makes. How do you solve sin and suffering without taking away our ability to choose freely? Because if you take that away, I can't love God if there's no choice. And it's about relationship. We've talked about that, right?
That's right.
This is the love
full
month.
circle.
Yeah, full circle. I like it when, that's my wife's favorite thing, when a discussion ends where it began. It's like a chiasm. It's
Happy
like
Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day, yeah. But isn't it true? Like, he could take away freedom of choice. It's like me coming home saying, "Oh, honey, you're home. I'm so glad you're still here. After 20 years of marriage, you're still here." She says, "Well, I have no choice. I'm chained to the wall." See, that's not love.
Yeah.
She would leave if she could.
Game
God
over.
isn't that way. He wants a genuine relationship. So how does he solve my problem? I'm not fit for the universe. My very existence, my sinful existence, is a lie about who God is. It's a lie about who he is. The devil can point to me and say, "That's what God made." And Clinton gets into that a little bit. Did God create a devil? No, he did not. Did Hitler's mom give birth to a tyrant? Nope, a baby boy. Hitler made choices. Lucifer made choices. You and I make choices. And God wants to redeem us so that we can freely love him, but never, are you going to choose this place again? And once you've seen the cross, why would you, and you see what it cost God to save you, why would you ever choose this again? Why? So it's a brilliant plan. You need to read this, AdventistReview.org.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
And you need to look at this QR code. You need to pull out your phone. You need to scan this QR code because it's going to take you to our special link tree, and there you're going to find all kinds of stuff. We've got articles online and other, and we've got
social media platforms.
Yeah,
we got WhatsApp messages. All of our articles are provided on WhatsApp on a daily basis. Right now we have it in English language, Spanish language, and Swahili for those of you from Eastern Africa. And we're branching out into others, and we're on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, and not just the posts, but we have creatively reposted them so that you can. There's different slides and whatnot to digest the article.
Yeah, it's just a great opportunity. This is your church. We want you to know what's going on. We want you to see the work as it's progressing. Find some courage to move forward wherever you happen to live. So scan that QR code. Come and visit us. Adventist Review. And there's something big coming. You're going to see our video content change. I'm not allowed to tell you yet. And I'm dying to, but hang in there. There's something big coming. Thanks for joining us. Yeah.
Bye.